Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Happy Thursday. Loving this day. I feel like I'm kind of bouncing off the walls, which I hope is a good place to be when we're playing together because, you can't really fight it anyway, but it just feels so good to be joyful and jubilant. And I just got my hair done, so I'm kind of feeling good from that. It's always a fun, refreshing feeling to have that experience. And I don't know, just super excited to play with you. So I'm just going to kind of drop into the energy field and see where we get led today. First thing I saw or sensed was kind of a sparkler over my right shoulder. And so I want us to all kind of link into that same sense or feeling over your right shoulder, a sparkler, which on the vibe side is just sort of an intention to kind of link up to our energy magic, our play, our fun. Excuse me, I had an itch. I was trying not to itch it, but what are you going to do? How do people on TV do that stuff, right? I mean, they just sit there proper with the nose itch. I don't know. I'm going to itch mine. So that's that allowing frequency. Okay, gesture of no fear shows up right away. So I'm going to honor that by just kind of left hand straight out, right hand up. Thank you, Molly. Who needs a singing bowl when you have a grunting dog, right? Okay, so it feels like we're just kind of tapping into like the swirly, I say vortex energy of the universe. A lot of times I'm quoting Abraham, but this in itself was just like a feeling of swirl. Like when they show, the cosmos moving, it's that feeling. And in fact, it just linked up to kind of a figure 8 feeling in that tone. So obviously that's our infinity sign. And as I'm just tracing it in front of me, the right side called me more, so I'm going to circle around that a little bit. It's like there's a, pardon me, it's almost like there's an indentation in it when I flow with it. So I'm just going to get a little curious about it. What is it asking? Takes me right to putting self on a pedestal and kind of raising your arm high with that feeling, like actually felt like Statue of Liberty energy for a second. So vibe that for me, mimic that. Strong range here. Okay, now pendulum comes in. I'm just going to float with it as I feel it. A right to left rock. You can try a couple yourself if you're on a mat or able to focus there. Little bit of like a, kind of like the big swaying part of the pendulum on the grandfather clock energy coming in. So I'm just floating with that. Definitely linking to go with the flow, floating easily energy. Counterclockwise circle coming in. So toning piece here, hands are coming together. Feeling that little bit of friction. Stops right there, so I let it. Now this time when we pendulum, it's forward and back. So I'm just going to kind of emulate it on my chair, what I'm feeling, and you can try a little bit to link a breath with it if it feels good. But it's just a swaying frequency. Guess I'm leaning forward. We're kind of sticking in this forward piece. I just vibed and heard forward momentum here. And I got the feeling of snow skiing where you're leaning forward in your skis. I feel like we had something like that before, but it's coming in again. So we're just going to receive it. There's a little bit of challenge energy that feels like it links to that as we pull out of it. The vibe of leaning into the challenge to get curious enough about it to receive clean answers. Remember that if we're a little out of sorts, that's not the time to lean into the problem. We want to be clear, clean, maybe fresh out of meditation or something really close to that. And we let ourselves lean and look, almost like we're looking kind of at a pond and we're trying to kind of see what's going on in there. It's a subtle curiosity, a peeking feeling. And then as I come up and do the opposite of that pendulum energy, it's a lean back, sense, tone, symbolic of receiving mode, where we're just chilling for a second. Wow. Palms, my hands feel a little hot, which I just did a friction layer there, a few seconds ago, but it was almost like that was lighting up, starting something new. So I'm just going to flow with it. Kicking the dog. When I say kick, I hope you know I'm kidding. Just a nudge. Okay, now I'm being led to something I've been playing with for a while now, as far as just a visual. It's like when I sort of want to bring myself into my now, of my who, what, when, now. It's like I see, feel, and sense like a circular energy going forward around the front of me and then back up. Right in this plane of the body. And I just want to tone with it, have you feel it a little bit. And then just really feeling the same line of energy, that front frequency in front of you. Like you're putting almost feels knife-like, even though it doesn't have to be, that's a strong word, but right in front of you, a clear division right down the middle. And we're going to focus and flow some arc energy in here. This one's different. Let me grab it. So it's going to come from behind you this time with the breath, and it's going to go up your back with red, and then it's going to do this arc forward. And it's going to scoop a little bit of earth before it makes its 360 to its starting point. So whatever breathing feels good around that, try a couple of the red starting behind you, up the body, arcing down and around. Okay, now a gray line of energy came in, and we're going to use this similarly, but with a different plane. This plane this time. So feel it. It's going to go from right to left and circle around that way. So a counterclockwise circle with gray. You can hook a breath to it. Sort of feels like we're in super slow motion today. You just kind of tapped in with my higher self. Am I hearing you clearly? Are we on point? Oh my gosh. Remove the beast.
Come here. Come here.
I guess the answer was yes anyway, but still, I was just feeling that. John Curtis, get that.
She's part of it today.
She's part of it, I guess so. So point is, I asked myself just kind of in my head, hey, am I following me, higher self clearly with this? Yes. It's just a slower roll, more like a cascade energy today. So we're just going with it. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking so fast I can barely keep up myself. And today I was like, whoa, am I on the right gear? And the answer is yes. So that's, for me, good clarity just to tap in and say, hey, do I feel myself? It's a checkpoint. Okay, everyone, let's do that kind of breathing where we pull from the earth. I want it to come around you again. This is so floaty today. So like a layer, maybe 2-3 inches thick around you on that inhale to the crown of the head, and then push way up out of your ceiling. So try a couple. Now our turquoise teal comes in, and it's a cylinder energy like this, breath focus. And when you inhale it, it's going to just kind of catch the right side of your neck and throat. It's coming out from in front of you. Catch that right side and go back out behind you, maybe 3-4 feet. Try a few. Spin that cylinder sideways, and you're going to pull it through, and it's going to go through the front of the throat on this side. Now it's going to angle. It's going to be at a 45, starting in front of the body. Still going to hit just the front of the throat and go out a 45 right here. Try that one. That one got wobbly on the backside for me, so I want to really focus it when I pull it through. There it goes. Focus comes back to the middle again. Going to take a little bit of prayer posture, that slight bounce that comes up occasionally. And this is a basque energy, so hands are going to open. And it's almost like, have you ever seen, I feel like it's like in 80s movies where they have those sunscreens that people hold. They look like a mirror and they were laying out like this. So you're going to hold something that looks like that. And it's a vibe of sun energy all on the face. Good. Now we're going to hold a sphere in our hands. This one's turquoise with green spirals all over it. So visualize. And as we tone with this, there's maybe not a lot of movement. It's sort of a sense, is that it's almost like when you're holding something that's got a little tone to it that you can match that tone. That's what we're playing with right now. Oh, it just started pulsing. So if you can feel any of that, reach for it. Good, and that fades off. And as always, these little vibrational focuses and plays that we're doing during this Max Vibe session, it's a warm-up for our dance with our friends. It's a warm-up for the rest of our day. It's really, in essence, a retooling of wherever your vibration was to get it as clear and clean as we can. So I appreciate you focusing with me. And then we're going to take orange in between the arms right here. This feels fluffy and light. It's sort of, again, matching what we had a little bit of yesterday. Like orange fluff, and it's just kind of smoothing around in there. And then my hands are coming closer together as I feel like it's taking off. And then we're able to just kind of close that energy door on this opening session. Start to smooth out, come back together for a group and some fun chat.